Without your dedication, I will not stand in before you as governor.
OB Keeng to ease no eye, coming out with the music to ease your mind.
Hi guys, it's been a sad couple of days. Had difficulty even sleeping. As you probably know by now, the Nigerian presidential elections held on the 25th of February. Our president-elect was chosen, and it turned out to be, it's kind of funny when you think about it, because we managed to conduct the worst election in the history of all elections. This election was so bad, the international observers, they panned it. They were like, what the hell are we watching? The rigging was so clear that political parties were even pointing out rigging that didn't favor them.
In Lagos, our situation room record shows that Labour Party has 983,069.
The NGOs panned it, the ones that worked with INEC, they panned it. This election had worse reviews than Cats. It had worse reviews than Velma. And the most annoying part about this, at least for me, is they tried to make it like it was the lowest turnout of voters in Nigerian history. Earlier, INEC themselves said that there was an unprecedented turnout of people, to get their voter cards. They even had to send extra machines to places so that people could register to get their cards. Now they are saying, at least by their results, that it was the lowest turnout of voters in history. INEC is just evil, man. But there is one good takeaway from this election though, and that's the obedience. Man, they came out in mass to express themselves. When I was going to vote, I knew Peter Obi was popular, but I didn't think he was that popular. Man, everybody was obedient. Everybody was having a good time, discussing plans for the future. They were sharing food even among themselves, sharing water. It was a very happy atmosphere. I've never seen Nigerians so happy to vote before. Voting is always a chore. In my particular polling unit, I think the INEC officials came by 8:30, but I was getting reports from others while I was there that many places they came very late. So I guess we had special treatment for some reason. But as the elections were going on, I started to check my phone, because when it got to around 4 in the evening, I thought to myself, people have probably started uploading results onto the server, like the INEC chairman said. I started to check my phone and I found out that the results portal was not open. And then I started to get very tense. I had a lump in my throat. I started sweating. I had to sit down. Upon discovering that, I began to get very suspicious. I kept checking everyone. People are still voting at this time. And the voting went deep into the night. But I wanted to stay back and make sure of the results. Know what the polls were like. But still the results portal was not opening. Okay, by then I had started to lose hope in the process. The only reason, I even said in an earlier video, that I had faith in this election was because of the beavers, the technology aspect they had introduced into this election, the one that allowed them to transmit the results in real time. Personally, I discovered that the portal opened at around 11 in the night. When I opened it, I didn't see any elections on it. I saw 2 or 3 results in the House of Reps section, but in the presidential section, there was nothing to be found. So because of this, a lot of the voters there that were staying to protect their votes, they didn't allow the INEC officials to leave until they were sure that their votes were recorded. And they even took pictures of the votes, to make sure that they had a record of the votes. There was this whole thing about Labour Party having a shortage of polling agents at the unit, and everybody turned to a Labour Party agent that day. In fact, the Labour Party did win my polling unit in a landslide.
Labour Party. 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 Labour Party, Labour Party, Labour Party.
They won so much that they made the Senate and House of Reps members win because people were just voting Labour Party across board. I personally left the polling unit at around 12 midnight. Like, I was so tired and hungry, but I felt justified, thinking our results to count. So you can imagine the frustration and the sadness, like when it all turned out to be this. When Tinubu was announced, there was a lot of sadness in the streets, like sadness everywhere. Everybody was just feeling down. Like it's so strange. They claimed that he had so many votes. He had like 8 million votes or something. But it was announced and everywhere was just silent. Like everybody was like, oh God, what's going on now? It's like knowing that the tragedy is going to befall you, but there's nothing you can do about it. Like that's how it kind of feels. And it's so unfortunate too, because everybody was so hopeful we are going to have a giant party, when president was announced, but instead it's like the opposite. But I'm here to say cheer up. The election was in a success in many ways, not the election, like in terms of creating awareness in people. In many ways, it has like broken the illusion that this person is the cause of all our problems, or is this tribe, or I wonder how this will affect the governorship elections coming up soon. Like, will the turnout be as much as it was for this one, or will people kind of give up entirely? Anyway, this is just me telling everyone to cheer up and be happy. I choose to believe that there are better times ahead. Obedience, you did so well. Like, it was awesome. And there's still hope. Peter Obi says he's taking it to the courts. So I guess what I'm saying to Nigerians and Obedience is to cheer up, be happy, and there are better times ahead. Except for APC supporters. You guys can.
The God we worship will see us through, because we're doing the right thing.